Welcome back to the Movement is Medicine podcast. Dr. Gene Shirakabrad here with Dr. Megan Weezer, Dr. Corey, Pokemon on the go. How?
Yes,
What?
it's the best game. For those of you who are unaware, the new generation of the Pokemon franchise came out for the Nintendo Switch a couple weeks ago. It's been great. I only lost my Switch once in the
I was gonna
meantime.
say, did you get your Switch back?
I did get it back. Shout out to my mother-in-law. She shipped it UPS, insured it and everything just in case I lost it
Oh my
or
god.
they lost it.
That would have been a fun plot twist to the story, the saga.
Yeah, right. UPS lost it and never got it back. No, it's a great game. I've told you before. I don't think I've said it on the podcast, but I learned how to read through Pokemon. I'm only a little bit exaggerating. I never read books as a kid.
God.
I read Harry Potter. Actually, my favorite book was Holes growing up. Do you remember that book?
I read
Yeah,
that one. Yeah,
Aaron
I
just
remember
read that.
one.
Yeah, great book. I read it a bunch, but other than that, I didn't read. But the Pokemon games, there's no there's no voiceover. It's just all reading.
You're forced to
So-
read it.
Forced to read it. So if you don't read it, you don't know what's going on. So I played Pokemon so much, I joke that I learned how to read from it.
I'm not convinced I know how to read. I'm pretty sure I memorize a lot of words.
Yeah.
That's why he speaks in Pokemon so often. That explains so much.
hmm
Okay.
That was a
that's-
quote from New Girl, and you missed it.
I did. I
Oh.
did.
I
I've-
told
like
Carrie,
I
let me
said-
Pikachu for a little bit.
Oh my god, the dad jokes, everything.
It felt right.
Yep.
I am not as well versed at picking up the New Girl jokes yet because I've only seen it once and you've
Okay,
seen
you
it
need-
17,000 times.
You need to watch it again. Start it over.
All right, deal.
It's a
It-
good feel-good show.
It is a funny show. I also like that your dad is fact checking these episodes on YouTube.
He
So
was? Yeah. he did.
shout out. He was like, "This is Lawrence,
Yeah.
Corey's dad. I did not hear about this side of the story."
Yeah, last week when I talked about how I broke my collarbone, tune in to last week's episode to check that out.
Mhm,
But
2 weeks at this
I was
point.
gonna
Yeah.
2 weeks,
say,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, my dad commented on the YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
and said, he never told me that part of it.
That's right. So you head over to at Recharge XVid on YouTube if you want to check in on the episodes for fact checks.
Speaking of YouTube,
Yeah.
What happens if we get 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel?
We become like celebrities.
Okay, but what happens
What
to
else
the
happens?
to the
Oh.
subscribers?
Aside from being like super YouTube famous,
Yeah.
I don't doubt that.
we're gonna
but-
give away a PlayStation 5.
What? A PlayStation
A
5?
Ragnarok edition. God of
Wow.
War PlayStation 5. I'm in a love-hate relationship with social media, and mostly that I hate it. That like the evidence and research on it is like abundantly clear at this point. Like
That it's
it
bad
is
for us.
is a cancer of society. That the
Well,
more time
That's what the research says.
yeah, seriously, it's
Those
the
words.
more time-
That phrase.
in essence, yes.
Okay,
That
so
the more
no.
time you spend the more time you spend there's a very clear inverse relationship. More time you spend on social media, the worse your mental health gets. Like it's almost a 1-to-1 relationship. And like social media is about selling your data. Like that's what social media is, right? It's a
That's how the companies make money, is what he's saying.
that's right.
That's how
It's
Facebook
a
makes money.
platform that understands addiction, and they feed on that, right? They feed on the dopamine kick that we get in that. And yes, it might have started with altruistic reasons of connection, and
I think those reasons are still there.
sure to an extent, but that's not what they are utilized for, right? The social media companies, Meta, YouTube, even
Instagram. Or Meta is Instagram is Meta.
is Instagram, yeah. They do everything in their power to keep us on there and clicking and
Did you watch
Mhm.
that documentary? Carrie and I watched it at your
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but it talked about how the way the algorithms work. If you pause at a certain video or picture or something, it's absorbing all of that data, and it recognizes that you pause for 3/4 of a second longer when the T-shirt that the guy's wearing is red. So then you'll start seeing red
Mhm.
ads for T-shirts. It's unbelievable all the crazy things that go on with advertising and social media.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, my other company that I have, UpDoc, I mean, that's what we did for the last decade or so.
You are a cancer.
Is is in a way, maybe it's self-hate. We would advertise for healthcare companies and see what consumers actually wanted, and we would help companies make those connections to the right healthcare companies. And that's when I started to really dig into the psychology of behavioral psychology of consumers, and started to read and learn more about what social media really was. And the reality is, social media companies are just dealing in behavior. I mean, they're dealing in um, understanding what gets people addicted, and they're data mining companies with a pretty exterior. That's all it is.
Did you say data mining companies with a pretty exterior?
Correct. With an addictive exterior.
Okay.
Have you ever clicked on the 3 dots by an advertisement and you can click why am I seeing this, and it'll tell you because you are male, age 18 to
Yeah.
34
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the I don't know, the East Coast, or I
You
might not say
liked
that,
this
but
post or
Right,
whatever. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, they've been more and more regulated. Obviously, the biggest thing that happened was Apple put their privacy protection on iPhone, so you could click "Don't sell my information" or "Don't track my information," and that literally dropped the valuation of Meta billions of dollars. Like that cost Mark Zuckerberg billions of dollars on what he's
He's
worth.
doing fine.
Well, yes and no. Like it's all scale, right? Like if you have $20,000 in your bank account and you lose 80% of that, that's a lot of money. Yeah, if you have $80 billion and you lose 80% of that, it's still you
Yeah,
still
you
have
still
billions
lost
of
80
dollars,
yeah, but you
but you
still
still
lost
lost 80% of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
Fair,
and their
fair,
life their
fair.
life is probably adjusted to that. Do we feel bad for him? No, but is he crunched? Probably, because a lot
Of
of
his
people
lifestyle,
there
yeah.
are leveraged in different ways. But the point is that social media, coming back to giving away PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah, we're
Um,
giving away PlayStation 5. Don't forget.
at this point, social media, as a small business, like we're so reliant on it because we don't have yellow pages anymore, right? We don't have billboards, things like. I mean, they still exist, but our job is to find people to help people. That's what we do. Like we won't exist if people don't come to us so that we can actually help them live healthier. So that's our pitch. Like, hey, we're physical therapists. We're helping you work out, but we have to deliver that message to the person at the right time, which is insanely hard, right? Like working out is hard. People don't want to work out. Consistently working out is hard. Paying money for a physical therapist to be your coach, that's a hard pitch, right? We're not cheap by any means, but we're a unique proposition. So if we can get that right message to the right person at the right time, we could literally change somebody's life. But we have to pay to deliver that message, right? Otherwise, people go about their lives, don't know we exist until they either drive by, which doesn't happen very often, or have a conversation with somebody and go, "Wow, I didn't know that existed. That sounds amazing."
Even when they come here, they're like, I had no idea that you guys were here.
Yeah, and we keep, we run Google Ads and stuff like that. But the point is that in order for people to hear us, we have to pay these companies to further use the data mining
Mm-hmm.
for people that benefit the most. And for us, it's 30 to 60-year-olds in this geographic area of 2 mile.
I'm in that range now. I'm 30. 30
Congratulations.
to 60.
Oh, crimey
You can
river.
benefit from each. You work out here. Yeah. Oh.
Some days.
But we have to pay money. We have to pay money to Meta. And by the way, we haven't advertised with Meta in years, just because I think they truly are a cesspool of a company.
There goes our Facebook sponsor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
what the heck?
obviously, we still use it. We still post some of the stuff, but a lot less. Instagram, we post stuff on that, but we don't give them money. But we have to figure out a way to reach more people. So it's either give these companies money, because back in the day, 6 to 10 years ago, their algorithms were very different, right? Because there was an asymmetry of content to people, meaning that they needed people to post content. They needed more and more content. As they grew, the asymmetry shifted. They had plenty of content. They needed more money. after the fact. So before you could post content and they would show your content to more people to keep that engagement going. Now they don't care. They don't care. They just want, now you have to pay for that content to be seen by more of your followers. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to use money from Recharge because one, I have to pay you yahoos. Number one,
We like that.
that's a good thing, right? But two, I don't want to support that. So we came up with something more creative. We said, hey, let's get a PlayStation, give that away. But in order for somebody to win it, they subscribe and follow along. And so far, that's been pretty good. We got
So, long story short, if we reach 5,000 subscribers in the next whenever,
a month and a half.
Month
Yeah.
and a half.
Yeah. At the end, by the end of January.
you could win that PlayStation 5. But you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Pretty good odds. There's
yeah.
5,000
Yeah, 1 in 5,000.
subscribers.
Pretty,
It's even better than that because you have multiple ways to get entries.
yeah, check
into it.
out our last video. I believe it's on YouTube.
Mhm. I can actually link it somewhere.
Yeah, we'll
here
link
for
it.
this
We'll
one.
link it here. Check out that video for more ways to win.
It's also on our website. So if you go to rechargexfit.com, that whole entry form is right on our website. So you can check that out.
I know I told you, I didn't tell you, Phil K said that he's going to make 5,000 YouTube accounts and subscribe 5,000 times.
That's a lot of
that
YouTube
he can win.
accounts.
Shout out Phil K.
Phil K.
Phil K is also going to be coming back and working out in classes with us.
Yes?
Yep.
Yay.
I'll give him a plug. Him and Adam started a real estate agency here locally. So if you're looking for real estate help, hit up Phil and Adam. We'll put their contact info somewhere below, or somewhere. If you're listening audio, we'll have to figure that out. But if you're on YouTube, it'll be down below in the info section. So yeah, I mean, I do. I hate social media. I love creating content. I love doing this and talking.
You
Like
love sharing memes with me.
I do love sharing memes with you. We do that quite often. I think my philosophy on content has always been if you have a business and you're asking people to pay you money for something that you do, you should be comfortable sharing that in other ways, right? So like people that always say, I don't feel comfortable making videos or content. To me, it's like you're creating content every single day when you're coaching or doing whatever job you're doing, right? That is something you should be sharing in different ways. And to me, that's what content is. These podcasts, videos, whatever we make, if I can have that conversation with a member or a patient, I can have that conversation with a video camera that's 1,000 members or 1,000 patients. So that's I
That's
love
easier
content.
said than done.
It is.
It takes some time.
Oh, for sure. You guys know that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I guess we know firsthand.
Carrie and I were students. It was like day one. You guys
Yeah.
brought out the camera, 2 big lights shining right on us, and just
Go.
like asked us
These
to
2
talk.
Michigan kids, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
la, 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 la.
Those videos are still on YouTube, so if you search back,
don't
you can
search it
see
back.
it. you can see back how that happened. We've had some newer members, and they were telling me that they're listening to the podcast and they're really enjoying it, but they're listening to it in reverse.
Yeah.
So they're listening to the newer episodes to the older
Why?
episodes.
That's the way
It's-
Spotify does. If you click on the most
Oh,
recent
really?
episode, it plays like it auto plays the next most recent
Mhm.
episode, so it goes back in reverse.
What?
Yeah. So that they're funny. They're like they can hear the degradation of quality as they're going.
Yeah.
Of both audio quality and quality of like me talking, because
Yeah.
I did not talk very much
Yeah.
at the beginning.
You said very little. We joked about that
Mm-hmm.
you didn't say very much, but it does take time. It's a
Oh.
skill set.
Well, the top one is the most recent one, like you said.
Okay.
Okay.
Confirmed. Fact check.
You are correct.
You are correct. Wow. I don't know if that speaks to her fact checking or not trusting you.
Both.
Well, I wanted
Both?
to see
Yeah.
because that's weird. But it
Um,
makes sense. The most recent to be at the top because if
does.
you are following along, like I ain't gonna scroll for
Right.
days.
Yeah,
Right.
but like if it's a new podcast, like imagine a big podcast.
You can sort it though. There's a
Can you?
sort button.
Okay.
Oldest to newest, newest to oldest.
Okay.
Nobody does that.
But it's right there.
Yeah. But that coming back to human behavior, people.
Let's cut that out. I liked it better when I was right.
You were.
Okay.
You were
good.
You
still right.
Yeah, I guess the default is that.
Yeah.
but-
People do the default
That is good to know though, because if I want to start a new podcast, it sucks to have to scroll all the way to the beginning
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
otherwise I may not know what they're talking about.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Um, so yeah, it's funny. It's funny to hear, but it's a skill set. Developing a skill set, just like coaching, right? Most of us, when we started coaching or being clinicians, we weren't great at it, and you get more repetitions. Um, but I think you need some level of enjoyment in it, right? Like if you guys, I think the hardest part here, at least for me with you guys, has been figuring out content that you at least somewhat enjoy making.
Yeah. Megan
Um,
had her videos for a while,
Yeah, I
yeah,
liked them.
yeah,
but
you
I
can
think
go.
a good option for us was this type of content
Mhm.
where we can just mostly just talk and say jokes and
Yeah,
Banter.
Yeah.
banter, have fun.
stuff that we're good at and do anyway.
Yeah.
Just throwing some cameras on and some microphones.
Yeah, this just feels a lot less pressure
Mhm.
than having to look at the camera and like deliver a speech is what it felt like. But now we can say all the same things just in a more casual way.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the stuff before was my ideas that you guys were asked to do and participate in.
Yeah, so
Right.
you like already had a pre-existing notion in your head as to how you wanted it to look, and we were like, duh.
Accurate. Shockingly accurate result. I think what's even harder for you guys is I had an idea of how it would end up, right? Because I'm the one that's editing them and putting them together.
Yeah,
You guys
that's
are
what
like
I mean.
putting pieces together. You're like, this, I don't get any of this. And then you see
Yeah.
the final version. You're like, okay, that's not as bad as I thought it would be. But I think it's fun having you part of the collaborative process. And I think the end result is pretty fun to our members, like these podcasts and the information that comes out of it. So that's kind of cool to hear that they're enjoying it. And we've
Mhm.
had over 5,000 downloads since we started. So that's, it's grown a good bit.
That's like a PS5's worth of downloads.
Now we just need to do that on YouTube. So
Yeah.
if you're listening along, go subscribe to YouTube. It's free. It doesn't take much. You just log in and hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Let's chat about this is the holiday season. Hanukkah, Christmas are coming up. This episode's probably going to come out, I would think, right before we break for the holidays. I was curious. I love the holidays, like most people. But I'm much more of a gift giver. I love giving gifts more than receiving gifts because much of the year, like if I need something, I'll just get it. Right? Like I don't need people getting me things. The gesture's nice. I get that, but I love giving gifts and coming up with something for somebody that they're not expecting and seeing that reaction. I think that's really cool about the holidays. But it's hard, gift giving is hard. And I think for a lot of people, the stress of giving gifts has turned the holidays more stressful than it should be.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about on this episode, maybe some fitness related gifts that you guys would think would be nice.
That took a turn that I was not ready for.
Nice little
I was like,
things.
where is he going with this?
I feel like that's every single episode
It
we
is.
ever do.
It's always every. I can't speak. I can't make words right now.
What could be some nice gifts, maybe small end to bigger end, price wise, that would be nice little gifts for people to get if they're
I'm
like
gonna do a shameless plug and say the demo program that I wrote for Recharge.
not shameless at all.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
A lot of our members like want to get their friends or family involved in
Yeah.
Recharge, and we've talked about it. It's weird to say, hey, you need to take this gym membership.
Yeah.
Or,
What
like,
are you trying to say?
yeah, you need to work
I
out
need to go
more.
to the gym.
But they're doing it out of love. They want their family and friends to live long and prosper, like
Star Trek.
Star Trek. But yeah, gifting a dumbbell program that's a great idea.
Yeah, and I wrote that during COVID.
I've
That was the first program I wrote start to finish, I think, and I was so proud of it.
It's really great because it's minimal
Thank
equipment.
you.
yeah,
Right?
just the dumbbell. It is really good. I think Ryan did a really nice job conceptualizing that with you because he gave you a structure. Shout out,
Ryan.
former partner at Recharge.
Mhm.
He's
We did-
actually
we
in
did-
those
We did
videos.
some Turkish get ups
He's in a
yesterday.
few of those
on
videos,
Ryan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
think
Oh, all of our
he might have
members.
done the first few weeks of it, actually, now that you say that. Like the
Members
first
who
week or
have
two.
not met Ryan, you've probably seen him in the videos for the app when
Yeah,
you check
yeah.
out the the workout of the day and see
Yep.
what movements are involved. So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah,
If
he
it's
did.
not me, Megan, Jean, or Carrie, it's Ryan.
Or Mandy.
Oh,
Or
Mandy.
Mandy.
Mandy was in
Yeah.
Hi, Mandy.
Yeah. Phil K's wife,
Yeah.
who we mentioned earlier.
Wow. So many
Um,
callbacks today.
We'll get Mandy back in here at some point too.
One year I
Once-
got my mom a weight vest for, I think it might have been her birthday or something, but she likes walking. Like that's her exercise that she can be consistent with. And
Yeah.
do I want her to strength train? Absolutely. But like this is what she's consistent with. So I am fostering that behavior. So I got her a weight vest.
That's a good idea.
Great.
So I think let's talk about programs for a sec. So we
Okay.
have a dumbbell program, and that's not just necessarily our programs, but there's people like
Oh, there's a lot of programs out
Peloton,
there,
there's
yeah.
Apple Fitness, and those are more follow along. Here's the video, here's the person working out in front of you, Beach Bodies, Peloton,
Mhm.
things like that.
Yeah, mimic what you see on the TV.
Correct. The challenge with those, and that's kind of on the opposite spectrum of what we do, right? They are exercises. Some of them are programs, but it's mostly here's a workout, get moving in that day.
Like one-off things. Yeah.
Correct. We're much more training. So even our dumbbell program, there's a very clear progression
Yes.
of what you have to do and should do. But we take the guesswork out of it. We're like, here's what weight you should use, here's how many reps you should do, here's how you should progress week to week to week from it. Which is good because people naturally do better with structure. Right?
Mhm.
That's one of the number one reasons our members are here. They say, I turn my brain off when I walk through the doors. God knows that's true based on how they try to add anything.
It's true even as a coach who goes into a class as an athlete.
Yeah.
Like
You're yawning all the time.
I-
Literally, when I'm coaching you,
I know, but
half the
that's
time, all the time, you're yawning.
that's because I coached in the morning and I was up at 4:30 and then I'm at the 3:30 class. So I'd already been
You're
up for
not yawning
12 hours.
10 minutes before class starts. Don't give me that shit. I know you get up early.
Maybe you
and
need to-
coach in the
Maybe
morning.
you're just a boring coach.
No, because nobody else is yawning. If everyone was yawning, I'd be like, okay, but I yell at them. They cannot be bored because I'm yelling at them.
I think all
Maybe
of my
Corey's bored with you.
I
Maybe that
think
could be
all
true.
of my
Maybe he just tunes me out. He's so
Yeah.
used to it.
all of my lung oxygen goes into my muscles, so then I start yawning to try to replenish that.
Not a lot of oxygen, huh?
No.
Okay. Programs are a great gift
Hi, Carrie.
to give. Golden Retriever.
Yeah.
Carrie? Squirrel, Carrie? Programs are a great gift. What else? Before we go, to your point, I think that is a tough gift,
Yeah.
fitness-wise. Like,
Yeah, no.
you have to
yes.
break through that psychosocial aspect of it. What are you trying to say? I'm fat?
Yeah, it's
I need a gym membership? Because that's where people naturally go. I'm fat. Like, no, I'm trying to make you and help you live longer.
I think it depends on where the person is on like that spectrum of change, right? Like contemplation or whatever the other ones are.
Yeah.
The different phases.
Knowing the person, for sure,
Mhm.
makes a difference. Okay, so digital gifts, programs, digital memberships,
Mhm.
things like that. What else could be a good gift?
Dumbbells.
Dumbbells?
oh, stuff for it. I don't know if you can
In
hear
case
that.
you didn't hear.
Fitness gift.
Carrie said squatty potties.
Carrie
It
should
does have the word
spots, right?
squat in it,
Yeah.
so it sounds like it's fitness related.
Oh my god.
Carrie's
Squatty
a pelvic
potties.
health therapist.
Yeah,
for those of you who don't know.
she is all about that squatty potty life.
Yep.
That is a good gift, though.
My first thought was shoes. I like
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
I like gym shoes. I
Mhm.
like shoes in general, but they're so expensive.
Yeah.
So
but
anytime
it makes you excited to use them.
it does,
Mhm.
and that's a good point. When you, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but when I feel good,
Yeah.
I want to go do things.
Yeah.
So like if I have new shoes, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna wear my new shoes to the gym today.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
Yeah.
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 So I think shoes are a good option. Specifically for what we do here, there are some types of shoes that work better than others.
hmm
For example, Laura, I've talked with her a lot. She's a big runner, and so she always wears real thick running shoes. I don't know if they're Hoka's or something
Mhm.
like that. Those aren't the best shoes to lift in.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a gift for a functional fitness athlete, like all of our gym members,
hmm
something flatter, more rigid. I know it's not the best for running, but it's great for lifting, jumping,
Yeah,
things
cross-training.
like that, cross training.
Yeah, high intensity training. There's a psychological principle called building off ramps or creating off ramps. So most times when you try to convince somebody or motivate somebody is you think of ways to get them to say yes, right?
New shoes.
What do I do to get to say yes? But what actually works better is you have to ask, why would they say no? And then you create what's called an off ramp from that. So if somebody says, I'm not going to go to the gym because I don't have the right shoes, like a runner, then you get them shoes and be like, well, here you go. They say no because of shoes. Here's a reason. Something you can do. So I think that's a great way is create off ramps. Why would they say no if it's fitness is the goal, and then give them something to say that, hey, here's the dumbbell program. I don't have a dumbbell. Here's the
a
dumbbell.
Or
Funny you should say that.
or somebody you've been like, let's say a spouse or family member that's been you've been trying to convince them to go to the gym, and they're like, I don't have time to go to the gym. Here's this dumbbell program you can do at home on your own
Absolutely.
time.
Absolutely. Follow along. All the instructions are there. But the reason for that is when you try to get somebody to say yes, you are thinking as yourself for them. When you think about why would somebody say no, you're forced to more empathize with them and put yourself in their shoes and say, why would they say no? Right. So it is, it might seem like a subtle thing, but it does really work anytime. Whether you're negotiating or trying to convince somebody, you always go from the why would they say no approach. And I think gift giving is a great way to do that as well. It's what don't they have yet, or why won't they buy this for themselves type of approach. And dumbbells, bands, stretchy bands. I think
workout clothes kind of goes along in that too.
mhm.
Coming from like, I don't know, when you were just talking about kind of combining the two thoughts that you guys just had with like wanting to feel good in your own skin
Mhm.
and doing things, like my brain immediately went to like women with body image issues and
Mhm.
stuff, like getting them clothes that make them feel like they look like a fucking queen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And men too. I think there's plenty of men
too.
with
Yes,
body
that's
issues.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who will not work out at the gym because they don't like the way they look, or I'll start when I lose 20 pounds, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think I'm always cautious with clothes just because I don't know people's styles.
or a way to get clothes. Like here's a gift card
gift
to
card to this place.
Nike or something.
I think just a simple message
or
of
taking them shopping.
I thought you would look good in this, right?
Yeah.
Framing it as somebody might not have picked that for themselves because of body image issues, but you going, no, I think you would actually look good in this, and having them have
Well, there's
that
a lot
kind
of ways
burst.
to do that, like gift cards, take them shopping, whatever. Yeah.
I like that. I also think jump rope is a great one, right? Because you can do that at home. It's an easy way to exercise, get some conditioning in, and doesn't take up a ton of space.
Not a ton of space or a ton of time. If you do
Mhm.
10 minutes of jump rope, like
Yeah.
very
I
few.
did total 6 minutes.
Yeah,
Like just before this, that was enough.
That's what I'm saying. 10 minutes. None of us here, I don't believe, could probably do 10 minutes straight through.
No.
Yeah. Not even actually. It ended up being like 3 minutes.
Right.
I
But
did
take
the
10
jump.
minutes out of your day, do it as an EMOM or whatever, and you can get a very good workout in a short amount of time.
Anything that you guys can think of that might not be like top of mind fitness gift, or something like on the periphery that you wouldn't think would be a good fitness gift, but it is for somebody that is either fitness minded or you want them to be in fitness.
I feel like you have something in your mind and you're like pressing us to say
Honestly,
it.
the only thing I have right now is that this is around lunchtime and I'm super hungry.
I'm
'cause
hungry
I haven't eaten anything today. So I'm hoping you guys just have some really off the shoot ideas so we can end this podcast so we can go eat.
What I'm hearing is you're into fitness pizza in your mouth. That's what you want.
Ooh, well done.
Mm-hmm.
Tudutch.
Oh my God. Like things they wouldn't think of?
Or just might not be like traditional
Yeah.
fitness things.
Compression shorts for gentlemen. People
Okay.
don't think about that very often, but if you're doing jumping or whatever, the undergarments that you wear can impact how things feel.
Yep.
Same thing for women.
Same thing
Keep
for
the
women.
girls in.
Yeah. We've had women come in and say, "Oh, I didn't realize we're jumping rope today. I don't have
The right sports
the
bra.
right sports
Yeah,
bra."
yep.
So
Mhm.
I wouldn't go buying a sports bra for somebody I don't know, but those are things that you wouldn't think about for
Yeah.
barriers of entry.
My choice would be a blood pressure cuff. So like a Withings blood pressure cuff. Because a lot of times people are motivated into fitness when they realize they might be on the cusp of not being healthy. Like one of the first episodes we ever recorded, of most times people get into a healthy lifestyle is when an
It's a no
unhealthy
shit moment. Yeah.
something happens. Exactly. So there's Withings that actually syncs up with our app automatically, and it's like, I mean, it's because it depends what you consider expensive, but it's like $70 or $80 at Best Buy, and it automatically syncs up with our app and most other apps. I think that's a really great gift because high blood pressure is a silent killer for a reason. So I think that's
Sure.
a great gift for a lot of people.
I got my mom a Fitbit one year.
Yeah.
This was because she was already into walking, but like those same people who like were like, oh wow, my blood pressure's high. I
Mhm.
feel like might have the same like, oh wow, I'm only taking 2,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Some objective.
Or wow, I'm only sleeping 4.5 hours kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say some type of fitness tracker, heart rate monitor, or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Would be good.
I think another one might be like a trial subscription to a food service, like one of those fresh
Territory
food.
or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. What's the one you guys tried out that was where they actually send you fresh food and you cook it?
We had two of them, Blue Apron and HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
They're
one.
the both
My
basically
roommate
the
does
same
that.
things. They're great.
Yeah.
The meals are always delicious. They make you try, or they don't make you, but you get to try things that
Yeah.
you normally wouldn't try. They're always good. There's no waste because they give you the exact proportions for two people or however many people you choose.
Yeah. That's great. I think Phil Tolkoff does Blue Apron
Yeah.
or did it before.
He does,
Mhm.
yeah. When
Yeah.
we've stayed at his house to watch Sarah, if they have a Blue Apron meal coming in, they
You're
let
like,
us use them. Yeah. Shout out to Phil.
Yeah,
Other
those are
Phil.
cool. Yeah, I think those are great. Portions obviously are huge. Most people don't realize what portions look like, so that could be a good way to start.
My Fitness Pal. That doesn't pay. That doesn't cost anything, does it?
You can pay
There's
for
yeah,
a subscription.
What is the
There is a
premium
free.
My
I don't know.
Fitness
It's like $80 for like a year.
Yeah.
or
What does
something
it
like
give
that.
them though? I want to know if it would be a good gift or not.
I think it's probably too much for somebody who's new to fitness.
yeah, it's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. And honestly, I think there's better apps out there now. I still use my Fitness Pal because I paid for it for a year, but
Our app
there's
does it now. I don't know if you guys have played with it. They actually have a
there's
really
there's other ones out there that
robust.
are a little bit more friendly and less like my Fitness Pal will highlight things in red and then it'll frame it as like a simple calories in, calories out equation versus like energy or like it gives the idea that you can eat this many calories because you exercise this many calories off, but that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
my Fitness Pal is probably going downhill a little bit in terms of like the right choice, but
Whatever.
it still does what you need it to if you can kind of block that out mentally.
And they've been around for a while, so they have a large database to choose from
Yeah.
food wise.
Yeah,
Like
they were bought by Under Armour, I think.
Chronometer is one, and then My Macros I think is another one that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, those are great gifts. I think all of those. So I think we've covered a good bit. We covered.
PlayStation 5.
That's a great gift.
It would be a
What's
great
even
gift.
better is subscribing and winning it and giving it as a gift.
Free gifts
Um,
are the best gifts.
They are the best gifts. We've covered the sociological experiment of social media and how it's destroying society. 2 great
Jock
fitness
straps.
gifts.
So what?
Jock
Jock
straps.
So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you can take some of those gift ideas. Head over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel at RechargeXFit for a chance to win a PS5.
Then we can be friends and we can play each other in like Call of Duty and stuff.
You haven't gotten Call of Duty yet,
I
have you?
have not.
I'll get it if
waiting
you
for
get
Christmas.
it, and I will play it with you. Or if we don't get 5,000 subscribers, we'll just set up the PS5 here and,
There we
and
go.
play it ourselves.
And we won't allow any of you to play it.
What we'll do is just rub it in your face
Yeah.
and make content of us playing on the PlayStation 5 that you didn't win because you didn't subscribe.
No, we won't.
No, we probably won't. But we could. Got to keep the thread still. Got to keep the thread. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe. Tune in on the next episode of Movement is Medicine podcast from Recharge.